Welcome to the introduction video for the Hero Arts My Monthly Hero Kit for March 2022. This kit includes a 4x6 clear stamp set with this very artistic looking images. This kind of resembles paint splatters, which you can stamp in your favorite inks, or using the canvas paper that's included in the kit, you can emboss it to resemble acrylic paint. Now, also in the kit, we are including 4 embossing powders in goldenrod, orange, blue, and purple. There are 2 sheets of heavy canvas textured paper and 1 sheet of canvas textured paper. And there's also a fancy window die that gives the resemblance of being in an art museum. And we also include a watermark and embossing ink cube. Here's a closer look at the fancy window die that's included in the kit. This is great to die cut from any color cardstock to resemble the look of an art museum, and it has great detail in it that you can leave just as die cut out or use your favorite medium to color it in. I'm going to show you one of the ways to use the stamp set and also the embossing powders included in the kit, but be sure to stick around to the end of the video where I'm sharing with you inspiration from the Hero Arts creative team. The first thing you always want to do before you do any heat embossing is prep your cardstock with an anti-static powder tool. I am using my personal full-size ink pad to ink up the image with the embossing and watermark ink, and then stamping that down onto the canvas textured paper that I have. Then I'm going to sprinkle on the blue embossing powder from the kit. Now, I only have 2 of the embossing powders from the kit, and I'll use both of them in the video today. So I'm just sprinkling that on. I'm going to tap off the excess, and then after my heat tool is nice and hot, I'll melt that embossing powder. And what you're seeing is the texture of that canvas paper that I'm using. Now, I didn't get quite a great impression that first time, I think mainly because I didn't push hard enough in the center. So I'm going to put this back into my stamping positioner and just stamp this again. Whenever I am stamping again multiple times or on top of something, I do like to make sure it is cooled off for about maybe 30 seconds. And then I always prep it again with that anti-static powder tool. Once I tapped off that excess blue, and I'll go ahead and melt that embossing powder again. This time I'm going to stamp another image, and I'm going to stamp kind of overlapping the previous one. So there are 2 images on the stamp set of different splatters. I placed the second image overlapping my first one, prepped that once again with that anti-static powder tool, inking it up with the embossing ink and stamping this down. Then I will sprinkle on the orange embossing powder so you can layer up your images. You can heat emboss on top of images you already embossed to give a very artistic effect. And that texture paper, that canvas texture paper we have, looks amazing with this. So not only does this look amazing using the different color of embossing powders, but it's also really fun to mix up your inks too and stamp this in multiple colors. I also want to show you what this would look like if you use the fancy window frame from the kit. So I die cut it out of white, and you would just place this over that image that you have in the background. So this really looks like there are some people at an art museum looking at this beautiful piece of work. Now I'm going to show you some examples from the creative team and how they used the kit this month, starting with just using it with stamping. So you can see you can stamp it in multiple areas or the sides of your cards using various ink colors. You can use it even as a background point to an image or an item. I did a watercolor background to mine on that canvas paper, which looks very fun and is really artistic looking. Now, using the image with that fancy frame window, you can create backgrounds. So you can stamp these images on top of cardstock, patterned paper, maybe some ink blending. So lots of possibilities and a lot of fun to be had with this kit. These kits are in limited quantities, so if you're not already a subscriber to the Hero Arts My Monthly Kits, it's a great time to subscribe so you are guaranteed a kit. Be sure to join us over on the Hero Arts blog for more inspiration featuring the March 2022 My Monthly Hero Kit. Thanks!